And good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. You're listening to Hard Facts and 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kalada Kurubasibo. Remember, we're live on Facebook. We're active on X, Nigeria, and you could also follow me on social media, Kalada. It is always a pleasure having you on the other side of the radio as we have the conversation for development. We look at current affairs. We look at socio-economic issues. We'll look at certain societal, even cultural and ethnic issues, sometimes spiritual issues as well, as we look at how we can make our society better and make our individual lives better through conversations that we have on radio. Like the previous conversation we had, it's once again, I would always say it's for the good of you and I, because if we can begin to be a very much part of the governance structure right from the roots, the root is where the nutrients usually are supplied through to a plant, and hopefully we can become a part of the governance at the state level and at the federal level. But first we have to get it right at the local government level. And like so many people called in to say, the local government election, a lot of people do not know who the candidate. I wouldn't say a lot of people, maybe the people who called in did not know or do not know about the candidates who are contesting for the election. Maybe in the next few days things will change, things will become better, and we will get to know, so people can begin to make their choices, begin to ask questions. What is it that you want to do for your ward, for your community, for the local government, for your polling unit? Those questions will be asked, and people will get quality insight into the personalities available. All right, but I want to have another wonderful conversation. I hope I've told you my name. For those of you who are tuning in just now, I am Kalada Kurubasibo, right? Okay, you can call me D Kalada. Let's see. Minimum wage. Just before the NBAD governance protest that happened or occurred 1st of August, just before, a couple of days before, about 5-6 days, or is it thereabout, we saw the signing into law the minimum wage as recently agreed upon by Labour and the federal government. We finally saw the agreement pegged at 70,000 naira after all the back and the forth for several months. Labour had asked for some humongous amount. There was the back and the forth. Labour was ready to settle for, was it 200? Was it 200,000? I can't remember now what the amounts of the figures were. But after the agreement, first of all, the federal government said, all they could afford was 60,000 naira, and they said they were going to add something a little bit above 60,000 naira. They ended at 70,000. I remember Nigerians saying, 70,000 naira is not enough, but it's okay, given what we have is fair. Let's see, in the next 3 years we would go and renegotiate again, and hopefully it will be better. Now, I remember telling people at the time that there is the likelihood that prices of items will increase. I remember saying that the idea that they will increase the wages of not just civil servants, because when it's signed into law, it means that every person, because the law is not just for civil servants, it's a general law, every person is going to be paid a minimum of 70,000 naira. I mean, that debate is still ongoing, by the way. And it was going to really be, something that would affect our inflation at the time. And look at it. They are yet to implement it. Look at the price of petrol. Look at where the price of petrol is. And we all know that petrol is like the rallying point for many sectors. It is very important for businesses, for homes, for schools, for churches. And as it is right now, there is the possibility, I'm not an economist, but I can dare predict that the prices of things may go up due to petrol price. But why has it not been implemented? With yet another promise? It can't be a promise because it's now a law. So that's where my confusion is. But more importantly, I'm wondering why the state governors are yet to implement it. I do understand that Edo State had already gone above the 30,000 naira minimum wage. Governor Obaseki had, said, was it 60 or 70? I think he had pegged it at 70 at the time. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember the figure. For some reason, I can't remember my figures today. Apologies for that. But, he had gone beyond. So apart from Obaseki, many governors are still paying the older rates, despite the fact that Akpabio and the lower, I think I should just say the National Assembly have signed that minimum wage into law, and I'm wondering what's happening. Why? The last time we had, I think it was from the Commissioner for Information, Rivers, that he said that the governor here in Rivers State is waiting for some rectification at the federal level, some confirmation of some sort, how it should be shared and how the adjustment should go across board. But I'm wondering, do we really need to wait for the federal government, for that to happen? That's one question I'm also asking today. Secondly, why is it taking so long for the law to be implemented? It doesn't take so long, for prices of items to go up, right? And I'm wondering how a lot of Nigerians are getting by, especially those who earn the minimum wage. Even the police, our friends, I wonder how they're able to navigate the rough times, the tough times that we find ourselves in. Now, I'm mentioning the police because it is very important that we talk about them. They are responsible for security. They're responsible for the peace and sanity in society. And guess what? I mean, it's not a guesswork anymore. You know this already. They carry weapons, and we want them to be in the right frame of mind, so we don't go back to what we've been fighting, which is police brutality, which is police rough handling citizens and all of that stuff. Apart from that, school just restarted. Parents are thinking of how they can pay school fees and get by, run the home. I'm not saying the minimum wage is enough, but I do think the 70,000 naira will go somewhere, in assisting how people run their homes and run their lives, especially the economic aspect of it. I know you're not an economist, but I just want to have the conversation with me. This is a makeshift conversation. It's been on my mind, but it's a makeshift conversation because my guest, could not make it. He's got, some other things to handle. And of course, it's not a staff of Nigeria Info, so he has a right to cancel, right? So we can have that conversation right about now. And I'm making another one available for you and I to have as we continue our conversations for development. So, the question I'm asking you, why is it taking so long to implement the minimum wage, given the current economic realities? I'm not even saying that, I was going to ask, what's Labour doing? Why is Labour quiet? Why is Labour not saying anything? The quiet nature or the quietness of Labour, is it connected in any way, to the summoning and arrest of the NLC boss, Joaja? Do you think it's connected? Because there is this silence. Usually we would see Labour climb and say, "Oh, you've not implemented it. You've promised, but you've not implemented it." Now, there's the news report that I saw on the Tribune newspaper. It has the caption, "FG assures workers a swift conclusion of new minimum wage adjustments." The federal government has reassured workers that they will soon benefit from an increase in their take-home pay as crucial meetings are underway to finalize the consequential adjustments for the newly approved minimum wage. Now, the Minister of State for Labour and Employment in Kiruka, Onyeji Ocha, made this announcement during a town hall meeting in Abuja. The engagement, which focused on the imperatives of the 8-point agenda of President Bola Tinubu's administration, was aimed at informing and gathering input from labour organizations and employers. So now the question is, How long would it take? And yet again, why are states, I don't want to make it about River State now, but why are states not looking at how they can domesticate this law, right? Because I like to think that the states can domesticate the law according to, okay, 70,000 naira minimum wage. Are we going to increase across board for other levels? That is a 5%. Are we going to make a 5% increment? Are we going to make a 10% increment, a 15% increment? What is the process? What is the case? Why are they waiting for the federal government to conclude, as we have been told by the River State government? And, do you think the River State government or any other state government should wait for the federal government to finalize, given the fact that, the states have the liberty to domesticate? I mean, was it not Edo State at some point who decided to pay way above what the minimum wage was at the time? All right, 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003 and 0817 923 0007. Let's get WhatsApp messages through the number 0809 030 6416. I'd like to get your thoughts on the minimum wage saga. And just like I asked about Labour being very quiet just as I asked about local government and the candidates being very quiet, I'm asking about Labour as well. Why are we not seeing them give an ultimatum? Or have they given an ultimatum and I don't know about it? I don't know. You tell me. Besides, I was away for a couple of days, so could it have been that while I was away, they gave the ultimatum and I do not know about it? But what are your thoughts, basically? Are private companies already implementing the minimum wage? That's also a conversation to have, because once again, it's a law. It is a law. And once it is a law, every law-abiding citizen or institution should abide by that law. I've got Hector from Ogbogoro. Hector, thank you for calling in. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Thank you, Shafir. You see, in our country, any deal or law that will benefit the political bourgeois, they actively move that deal. But any deal or law policies that will benefit the majority of the masses, the common man, it will delay. It will even become a dead deal, if possible. Now, we see what the federal government is doing to Ajo, the NLC, the chairman. It's a kind of intimidation, to silence their voice, not to come up anymore. The Nigerian masses are also docile to an extent. The first protest that was they carried out months ago. The federal government has also studied the Nigerian masses and to know their strength and their weakness. Now, why have they not meant this new minimum wage? It's because it has to do with the common man, the ordinary top civil servant. But it is even before they implement it, they've already caused more pain, inflicted more hardship on the people. Making use of the minimum wage when it will be finally implemented.
All right.
So that is the Nigerian for you. Only the bourgeois, the political bourgeois, is the benefit from policies. Any laws that will not benefit them, it will become a deadlock.
All right, Hector, I've got to go. Thank you very much for your thoughts there. Taria from Asari Toru. Taria, welcome.
All right, good day, Canada. It is quite disheartening to say that the speed and the manner with which National Assembly passed the minimum wage, the bill to law, President gave him his presidential asset. Now, the point is, you can see that the government is very, very sensitive to the plight News is my source of information.
All right.
Enugu State set up a committee that they should go and work the minimum wage, the figure, and come. It gave them 1 month specifically. So that we take, the committee was set up first week of September. So that we take maybe till end of September. So that means Enugu may not pay. River State government, Secretary to government told us that they are working, they are waiting for federal government. Is it template? What? How did it?
Yeah, template. It's the same thing. Just they're trying to structure it.
Yes, exactly. Now the point is, why delay this thing that has been so? It was ascended by presidency the 30th or 31st of July. The point is, the federal government that also were in hurry to make the policy. They did not pay Canada in the month of August. And the people are suffering with this meager salary in Canada. And our leader, I observe that the Senate president has not.
I think they're still status. I think they're supposed to resume. Was it this week or was it next?
Allocation has increased by times 2.
But you should also know the value of the naira. All right, Tyra, thank you. I've got to go. I've got a commercial coming up, but you should also know that the value of naira has also declined or decreased or abated, whichever one best describes what I'm trying to say. Commercial break. We'll be right back.
Stay with
The headline news: Police kill leader of armed robbery gang Chukwumela in Port Harcourt. RESEC takes delivery of non-sensitive materials ahead of October the 5th local government elections. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed criticizes FCT Minister Yesam Wike. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana says it is illegal for NNPCL to determine price of Dangote petrol. On the foreign scene, Italy to face storm after flood killed 21 in Europe. Details in the 6 p.m. bulletin. To reach the news team, send an SMS. WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Kalada Kurubatibor. Good afternoon.
Business,
agriculture, politics,
entertainment,
health, education.
We talk about we talk about everything.
We are 92.3 Nigeria Info.
this is Hard Facts.
All right, 5:31 p.m. You are listening to 92.3 Nigeria Info Hard Facts. It is. I'm yours truly, Kala Dakoru. It's my pleasure having you ready and willing to share your thoughts on the issue on the review. What is the issue on the review right now? Because I'd like to get your view. We're looking at the minimum wage. And I like what Taria said. Taria did call me from Asari. I had to go Google it, and I was right. While I was away, these two governors, the governors of Ebonyi State and Enugu State, set things in motion as it regards the payment of the 70,000 naira minimum wage. As a matter of fact, I think it was Ebonyi governor who declared a few days ago that he has mandated the payment of 70,000. Enugu government set up a committee on the 29th, as reported on the 29th of August. So hopefully both states will have the minimum wage, hopefully once again, paid latest end of October. Latest, I want to believe, if of course they are not going to stall and not make it a political statement or rhetoric. Okay, so let's get your thoughts. I mean, should we get in River State? Should we wait for the federal government? Should we not, start the motions? Should we not on our own? And like I said, I made a reference to Edo State, who even before the minimum wage was agreed upon and signed into law, had already set, already done some increments to the minimum wage, and they are paying our here. Your thoughts? 08179230002, 08179230003, 08179230007. WhatsApp number 0809 0306416. Now, this one says, greetings once again, Kalada. On the issue of 70,000 naira minimum wage, Lagos, you said Lagos, Edo, Adamawa states are currently paying the new minimum wage in their states, while states like Rivers is leveraging on the gullibility in town, saying they are waiting for template, maybe from heaven, before it will pay. Meanwhile, Lagos citizens didn't wait for any template before they were given millions or billions to build political structures to serve individual purposes. I did shame for the oil-rich states. Fiaga with that one. This was just bearing in mind that River State governor did not pay the wage award, and presently it does not occur to him that civil servants are really suffering, knowing that petroleum prices have increased to 1,400 naira per litre. Were there states that, I stand to be corrected, but I'm asking, I need to fact check that as well. Were there states that paid the wage awards? Because we were told by Labour that the federal government paid for only a month, and after that they stopped. Even the federal government could not pay. But this one said the federal government is indirectly trying to deceive the general public with the introduction of minimum wage. Fidelis Elemiwa from Chokocho. This one says, obviously and especially democratically, what's happening in is not an election. I think we've moved on from that. I'm sorry, I've got to skip. Did you send me another message? No, I think we've moved on from that one. I've got Robin from Eche, and after that, Chima, who's at Eliprawa. But Robin, what's on your mind? Tell me.
Yes, Canada, one of the people.
Yeah, greetings. Yeah, I'm listening. Let's get your thoughts, Robin.
You see, whether any governor in that matter is waiting for 10 plates or 50 plates is inconsequential. Canada, we find ourselves in this condition, in this part of the world, because of lack of consequence. People are not punished. Anybody who occupies any office and do anything to get out of it. Father, can you recall or can you tell me any state governor, the past governor before the 2022 election, who refused to pay minimum wage, the previous one? Can you tell me whether one of them has been called to question?
And there were a couple of them, I guess.
Which governor?
I said there were a couple of them that did not pay. That's what I'm trying to say. A couple of them did not pay.
So how many of them have been called to question? We're even aware the one of Kogi State, the man is hiding in the state capital, the federal capital, with the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The EFCC have not cited him, and we are running a country. How do you think those who are holding sway today are not doing the same thing? Because they fail after the immunity, nothing will happen to them. That is why they can talk and deceive themselves as if they are deceiving Nigerians.
All right.
But the good thing about it is that I am happy. The way we were told story yesterday, we were talking about Awolowo, what he did in the West. Today they have almost conquered Nigeria in terms of education. They are writing their names on the wrong side. They should continue.
All right.
Let them pay or let them not pay.
All right. Thank you, Robin Marge at the Farmer. Thank you. I've got Chima from Ele Prawa. Chima, tell me, what is on your mind, I'd like to hear?
Yes, Kalada, good evening.
Greetings.
Yes, Kalada, the problem we have here is laws are not obeyed in this part of the world.
Okay.
Because if you tell me that the president has signed and National Assembly have passed minimum wage into law, so what is holding it? What is that negotiation template or whatever? The law has been passed, and the law is the law. You understand? And I cannot become any reason the fragrant disobedience of laws of the land. What precedents are you setting out there, especially the investors, for crying out loud? You understand? Look, until Nigerian leaders have the interest of their followers, the interest of the citizens at heart, we will continue to have something like this. Have you ever heard when the thing that concerns those at the helm of affairs, how the thing is speedily giving attention? That was why a certain the speaker who made a statement urging Muslim faithful to pray for Nigeria. I was asking him, were Muslim faithful consulted to pray before you went and accept SUV of 150 million? It's only when it concerns citizens that things like this would start to emanate. Consequential adjustment. What kind of consequential adjustment if the agreement has been reached?
Right.
And don't forget, Labour are still complaining because the agreement with the president was that the minimum wage, they should accept 70,000 minimum wage, and the price of petrol will remain at the rate of 750. And when they had the discussion, till now, minimum wage has not been paid.
All right.
Even when they are accepted, what kind of country are we, for crying out loud?
All right, Chima.
Does this country belong to those at the helm of affairs, or does it belong to everybody?
It belongs to everybody. Chima, I've got to go. Thank you very much. And so, talking about the wage award, I had to do yet again a quick Googling. And 20 states did not pay, while 16 did. Now, the states that paid for about or between 1 to 4 months, Delta paid, Niger paid, Plateau paid, Kaduna paid, Bauchi and Nasarawa. Also, we had Lagos, Edo, Bayelsa, Imo, Enugu, Anambra, Ebonyi, Ondo, Osun, Ogun, Oyo, Ekiti, Kano, Kwara, Cross River, and Taraba. So, the person who sent in the message saying that Rivers did not pay, the person may just have been correct. Okay, let's read some more messages. And this one says Rivers State government has begun to show its true colors by being insensitive to the plight of civil servants in Rivers State since the increment in the fuel price. Bayelsa State government paid the wage award, and other states in the West paid the wage award, and FG paid the wage award for 4 months and stuff. But Rivers State government has refused to pay the wage award and is leveraging on the template to deceive the people of Rivers State. John from Port Harcourt, entirely your opinion there. But this one says the arrest of NLC president is an attempt by the federal government to delay the implementation of the minimum wage for Nigerian workers. Fidelis Elemoa from Choco Choiche. That's your own conspiracy theory. But this one says that governor is not ready to pay the new wage. Even the 35,000 wage award he didn't pay. He only deceived us with the payment of 100,000 Christmas bonus, which state like Ebonyi also paid and yet paid the wage award. The River State governor is not. Okay, you say it's not workers friendly. As state secretariat is an eyesore. For your information, more than 16 states paid the wage award, excluding River State. Uzoma Chima. Uzoma, I've just read 16 states paid. I read it out, and I guess River State is not amongst them. Okay, all right. I don't know if the federal government paid for 4 months. I would have to check that as well. But I've got Igwe, and Igwe is calling me from. Where is Igwe calling in from now? I need to find out. Okay. While I'm waiting for Igwe to sort out his location, I'm going to move on to other messages right now. And let's take a peek at Facebook, and let's see what we do have on Facebook. What are the messages saying on Facebook? Okay, Igwe is now calling, I know his location. He's calling from Ruma Olu. Igwe, welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Canada.
You're welcome.
I just want to quickly contribute to Comrade Igwe.
All right, quickly, let's get your thoughts.
We're talking about the delay in implementation of the 70,000 minimum wage.
Yes, we are.
Yes, it is true that it has been implemented into law. So it has to do with the implementation.
Please turn off your radio. Turn off your radio set. You don't have to hear yourself.
After it has been domesticated into law. That's what we call template. In that template, the union and the government have to sit to know the real implementation concerning all the consequential adjustment of all the cadres. And that is the guide to the implementation, so that the government don't go and implement whatever thing they come up with. As I talk to you now, the northern side of the labor union have met on this same consequential adjustment training on the labor leaders across the nation.
All right.
As of tomorrow, all the union leaders, the state chairmen and secretaries of NLC in various states in the south are also meeting from tomorrow to Friday. My chairman in the state is traveling first thing tomorrow morning for it. It is when this consequential adjustment training has been done on all the leaders and the template on an implementation is out. They can now go to their various states to meet with the state government and then know what is due for each worker from level 1 to the level.
All right, Igwe.
It's not just a question of domesticating and then start implementing.
All right. So there's a process.
That was the problem we had in the last 30,000 minimum wage. Now, most civil servants are crying that government said they have implemented, but what they are saying in their salary does not reflect the 30,000 minimum wage.
But Igwe, the question we are asking is, have they started the process? Should they be waiting on the federal government to start? But I've got to go. My colleague.
Yeah, the process is on right now.
All right.
They are free that of the northern side. Then the south is starting their own from tomorrow. The training is 3 days.
All right then. Thank you very much.
After that training, they will then the template to go to various states for implementation.
All right. I've got to go. I'm sorry. We've got a commercial.